Have you ever stopped to think about what it actually means for something to be alive? I mean, it sounds like a really simple question, right? But the deeper you dig, the weirder it gets. So today, let's dive in and see if we can find some answers.
Let's start with a bit of a strange one. Think about it for a second. Is a car alive? Your gut reaction is probably, no way, of course not. But hold on, let's actually look at the evidence.
A car definitely moves around, kind of like an animal does. And it needs fuel, a form of food, to get the energy to make that happen. Those sound an awful lot like things that living creatures do. So, what's the catch?
Okay, now let's flip the whole thing on its head. What about a plant? Is a plant alive? I think most of us would say, yeah, absolutely. But this is where things get interesting. A plant is stuck in one spot, right? It's rooted to the ground. It doesn't walk around like a pigeon or drive around like a car. So for only judging by movement, the plant actually fails the test that the car just passed. See? It's already getting confusing. So clearly our simple, everyday ideas aren't really cutting it. We need a better set of rules, a proper checklist that can reliably separate the living from the non-living. And that's exactly what we're going to figure out.
The hunt for these rules often starts with simple observations. Kind of like a little kid finding a snail shell and wondering how this hard, still object could have come from a living creature. It forces us to look beyond the obvious. So let's go back to that first clue, movement. A pigeon moves, and we're all on the same page, it's alive. A car moves, but we're pretty sure it's not. This tells us right away that movement by itself is just not a good enough test. We have to dig deeper.
And get this, our whole assumption that plants don't move, it's completely wrong. What you're looking at here is a Droseraea plant, also called a sundew. It's an insect eater, and when a bug lands on those sticky little hairs, they actually curl inward to trap it. So yeah, plants do move, just in their own sneaky, subtle way.
Okay, so what this really means is we have to stop looking at just the outside. The real secrets to life, the defining characteristics, are all about the processes happening on the inside, the hidden machinery. Now here's something that a car definitely cannot do: grow. It's a core characteristic of life. Every living thing, from a tiny little seedling to a human being, grows and changes over its lifetime. A car is always the same size as the day it rolled out of the factory. And to fuel all that growth, living things need nutrition. They have to take in some kind of food for energy. For us, that's grabbing a bite to eat. For a plant, it's soaking up sunlight, water, and stuff from the soil. A car takes in fuel, sure, but that's only for moving, not for growing. Another one of these crucial internal jobs is respiration. Breathing, basically. We breathe in, we breathe out. But what's really fascinating is that plants do it too. They don't have lungs, of course, but they breathe through these tiny little holes on their leaves called stomata, swapping gases with the air around them. Think about it. When all these internal processes are humming along, eating, growing, breathing, they're bound to create some waste products. And getting rid of that waste is absolutely essential for staying alive. We call that process excretion. And yep, you guessed it, plants do this too. Have you ever gone outside in the morning and seen little drops of water on the tips of leaves or blades of grass? That can be a form of excretion, with the plant pushing out extra water and minerals it doesn't need. It's a universal process for all living things. Okay, our checklist is getting pretty good. Let's dig into the last two big clues that will help us build our final definition of what it means to be alive. If you accidentally touch a hot stove, you pull your hand back immediately, right? You don't even have to think about it. That's a response to a stimulus. Every single living thing reacts to its environment, whether it's a touch, a sound, or a change in light. A car just sits there. It doesn't care. And here is one of the coolest examples in the entire plant kingdom. This is the touch-me-not plant, or mimosa. When you gently touch its leaves, they fold up right before your eyes. It is a direct, undeniable reaction to a stimulus, and it just proves how aware and reactive plants really are. And last but certainly not least, we have maybe the most profound characteristic of them all: reproduction. Living things make more of themselves. Pigeons lay eggs that hatch into more pigeons. Plants make seeds that grow into new plants. It's how life continues. A car just can't build another car. Okay, so we've built our list: growth, nutrition, respiration, excretion, response, and reproduction. But now it's time for the final boss: a seed. It doesn't seem to be doing any of those things. It's not moving or eating or growing.
So, according to our brand new checklist, it should be non-living? But we all know that can't be right, can we? To solve this little paradox, we can't just stare at the seed and hope for an answer. We need to see what it's capable of. And a simple experiment is the perfect way to reveal the truth. So, the setup is super simple. We're going to take 4 pots, pop some bean seeds in each one, and then give each pot a different set of conditions. We're going to see what it takes to bring these seeds to life. All right, here are the different conditions. Pot A gets plenty of sun, but no water at all. Pot B gets sun, but we've basically drowned it. Pot C is in complete darkness, but has perfectly moist soil. And pot D gets what seems like the perfect mix, sun and just the right amount of water. So which ones do you think are going to sprout? Okay, the results are in, and this is where it gets really cool. No surprise, the dry seeds and the drowned seeds didn't do anything. But look at pot C. Even in total darkness, with just the right amount of moisture, the seeds germinated. And of course, they sprouted in pot D too. This tells us something crucial. Sunlight isn't needed to wake the seed up, but the right amount of water and air are.
And this brings us to our final amazing conclusion. A seed is alive not because of what it's doing in the moment, but because of the incredible potential for life that it holds inside. It's got all the instructions, all the machinery, just dormant. It's waiting for the right triggers, water and air, to kickstart its engine. So what makes something alive? It's not just a checklist of what it's doing right now. It's about the amazing built-in potential to do all those things. Life, as it turns out, is a story of what is